Good early afternoon on this marvelous Monday. I pray you guys are doing well today. So, I want to say something real quick that needs to be discussed and talked about. Okay? So, me, I'm always strolling through TikTok and I be seeing some recent shows that we all may watch. And then I see some new shows that are now just coming out. And we all know about Scare Scrape, that reality show where it deals with teenagers. But now I'm starting to see a new show. And I'm probably late to the game, but I'm starting to see a new show called The Prison Doctor. And I hope I said that right. And this basically this brown skin, maybe light skinned guy, he's bald headed. He goes to different houses because he's being called from different parents to come and sit with their troubled children or teens to talk to them about their misconduct and misbehavior. And so I wanted to come on here and I just want to say this. I think that it's very, 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 very crazy how parents have to call someone else to do a job that they were supposed to do. Discipline starts at home. And it's already enough that when these kids go to school, teachers have to deal with the disrespect. And I feel as though most of the time, parents play the victim. This is just my personal thing because monkey see, monkey do in this situation. And what I mean by that is you can't just treat your children any kind of way, not spending any time with them, not showing them love, and not expect them to just treat you any kind of way. And I feel like there's a lot of parents that are playing victim, that are making it seem like these kids are just all of a sudden bad when discipline starts at home. You are supposed to lay down the line. You're supposed to let your child know what's up, the rules. Let me tell you something. Me growing up, I didn't really have to be disciplined. Because, even though my parents lost me and my sister, because I'm not the only child, we moved into my grandmother's house. My grandmother was a God-fearing woman, but she also was a very she was a very strict woman. Very extremely strict. And that's what I wanted to say. Me and my sister was scared of this woman. And I'm not saying that she was physically abusive because my grandmother was not an abusive mother. She was not. She had her ways like we all do. But my grandmother was not abusive. She took care of us. She basically spoiled us. And she did. But me and my sister knew not to act a fool in school because my grandmother was about that life. She would come up to the school and whip your tail. She would whip your tail in front of your friends, and she would whip your tail at the house. And then she would play this game where she'll make you think that she forgot, but she'll catch you off guard. So I feel as though these parents be playing victim so bad. And I feel like half of the reason why is because half of the reason why these kids are disrespectful and rude is because of these parents. Because you're not spending time with your child. You're not teaching your kids right or wrong. You're not in your child's life. So when your kid disrespects you, you automatically get mad. And then at the same token, not trying to be racist or anything, but white folks let their kids and are okay with their kids disrespecting them. They let their kids do what they want to do. And they do. And then you have another person that don't know your kid coming in trying to tell your child what to do. You shouldn't have to hire or pay or have someone else to teach your kids right from wrong. That's your job. In some cases, the parents are right, but in most cases, they're not. Because you're not teaching your kids discipline. You can't expect your kids to know discipline when you never taught them discipline. I just really feel like a lot of parents be playing victim half the time. You can't teach somebody something that they've never been taught before. You can't teach someone discipline if they've never been taught discipline before. You only can teach, they can only do what has been taught. And half of you parents have not taught your kids discipline, how to be obedient. My grandmother taught me discipline. My grandmother taught me how to be obedient. But my grandmother also taught me how to not let nobody run over me and how to correct someone, but in a respectful way. And it just sickens me when you don't teach your kids respect and the difference between respect and disrespect, and now someone else has to come in and teach them something that you never taught them. That's how I feel about programs when it comes down to Scared Straight program and this new thing that's out there, which is probably not new. I'm just probably late in the game. But it's your job as a parent. That's why I mean, and there's nothing wrong with calling your mom your best friend or your dad your best friend. But at the same time, I think there's something wrong. But at the same time, I don't think there's anything wrong, because your child should be able to come to you and talk to you about anything without you going crazy and going wild. And that's what's wrong with a lot of black parents, because they think the worst every single moment and every single time. And black parents think that they know everything when they really don't, especially those older people. But I'm telling you, parents, y'all need to do better. 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 And that's all I got to say. I just feel as though Scared Straight, this Prison Doctor, and these other shows that's there to discipline children, I feel as though really none of these really should be in place if parents would have disciplined their kids. And a lot of parents don't discipline their kids. And when you don't discipline your kids, that becomes a problem. That's when your kids become disrespectful, rude. And then when they become disrespectful and rude, now you want to call somebody to teach them something that you should have taught them. And half of these kids are not disrespectful and rude. They just have rejection and abandonment issues because of what their mama, what their daddy, what their family calls. I tell you, it's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that people don't never pay attention to. You're so quick to diagnose somebody with something, but you're not quick to sit down and listen. And that's what's wrong with a lot of adults. That's what's wrong with a lot of church folks. That's wrong with a lot of humans, because everybody got the answer to everything. But you're not listening. You're not listening as to why that child is acting the way that they're acting. And then when children tell their parents the reason why they're acting the way they're acting, the parents don't want to believe. Just like if a girl walks up to you, if your daughter walks up to you and tell you that she's been raped or molested, you automatically want to call her a liar. I tell you. Y'all be pointing the fingers at these kids most of the time, but it's these parents, these no good parents that ain't doing their job, ain't disciplined, ain't protecting their kids. And then you get mad when the child is doing what the child is doing. Half of the time it ain't the child, it's the parent. And I'm not saying that it's always I'm not sitting here defending kids. At the same time I am, but then at the same time I'm not. Because at the token, it's not always the kid, it's the parents, but the parents want to play victim. But that's basically all I got to say about this topic. I just feel as though that none of these programs need to really be in place. I mean, they do, but at the same time they don't. Because if parents just discipline their kids, they won't have to worry about their kids misbehaving and being rebellious. That's all I'm saying. Treat your kids discipline, you ain't got to worry about rebellion or disrespect. And that's all I got to say. You guys be blessed.